GM. GM. So we're just going to be going over some daily levels, essentially. Just what I look at every single day to see if I need to make a trade or whatnot. So for my main high time frame system on the daily, got Bitcoin, and we are already long since 85K down here when Bitcoin crossed above the 50-day moving average. And with the 1221 bands, which are just 12 and 21 EMA moving averages. That's what they are, exponential moving averages. And those crossed above, and that turned them green. And yeah, so basically we were already in a long at 85K, somewhere there, right there. And yeah, so Bitcoin still bullish essentially on the daily, nothing changing there. And on the 4 hour, actually, well, I just actually realized this. I need to go short on the 4 hour. So essentially right here, actually, because it would have been right here. This is where I would have went short with my stop loss right here because of the bands crossing simply. So actually after this video, I am going to be taking this short, and that might get invalidated obviously because Bitcoin is still bullish essentially on the higher time frame. But the next thing I look at is the 1 minute chart for some mean reversion trades. Let me just go to a different chart. So we don't need this, which I did take 2 shorts earlier. Okay, this chart is terrible actually. I'll just hide this. So I did take 2 shorts actually earlier today. I took a short right here. Obviously it lost. Wait, where did I take it? Oh, down here actually. Yeah, because obviously it pumped up and I lost that short. So I took a short right here. Ah, okay. Just have to delete that. Took a short right, no, not right there, but right here. Because if you look at this, we have, so this would have been my short. That would have been the short I would have taken. I would have took profit right there because of it coming up, it going, trying to go down, trying to go back up, but didn't. It's called a failure to return. So it didn't return back to the high. So technically, it's more likely to retrace the full move if it doesn't continue up like it did. But this was just essentially a failure to return because it, you know, pumped up to new highs. But this was the short I took. Well, I took that one and then lost it, or got stopped out right there, yeah. And then it set up again right here. And then, same target. So basically the same trade because of this failure to return. Let me just delete this. Because, yeah, because it didn't touch this. So a failed attempt to break out and make new all-time highs, but 2 valid shorts from my system that I tested. And, we're bullish. Bitcoin's bullish. There's no reason why it should just not go up. So no surprise there. These were just short-term day trades. So this is to be expected, essentially. I can't win every trade. But right now, yeah, we're just creating new daily highs because we opened the day on. Wait, let me go to the day real quick. I guess we were actually a little bit higher. The day we were actually at 831. So we're coming up to test the daily highs from today. The daily open from today. So we might actually get rejected at this the daily high for Monday, which was technically yesterday, but for crypto, it's today. So we're coming up to test the daily highs, and you know, that's bullish, you know? Well, that could be bullish. We could get rejected and then it'd be bearish, and then we see, 93K test. Hopefully that holds. If not, we could go all the way lower, potentially retracing the full this leg, because this is an inefficient move. This whole gap right here, because we just blasted above it. So this whole area is untested. So we do need to hold 93K, 93.5 if we want to continue the daily uptrend. Because if we break it, we'll break structure. This is also the market structure right here. So yeah, this is a pretty critical point actually of if we're going to hold this. But obviously we could wick below it, and then build back above it to go higher. That obviously could happen, which would wreck a lot of traders. So that's highly probable to happen. And just making sure, okay. And for Ethereum, that's about it for Bitcoin. Ethereum, I'm actually long Ethereum on the day. And stop loss is down here at 1600 just about. And it's not looking good because it's just consolidating, obviously. The same reason I'm long Bitcoin on the day is the same reason I'm long Ethereum right here on the day. The daily chart, not today, because I longed 5 days ago on 25th. So I actually longed right here, or no, right here. So I'm basically at my entry price, might be slightly in the red, slightly in the positive. Nothing to take profit on, obviously. But I guess I'll look at Solana. I don't trade Solana, or I haven't placed a trade on Solana. But you would be long about 135. Maybe you got a late entry at 140 just about. And it's looking decent, better than Ethereum, obviously. But it is now in the bands. Bands acting as resistance, the top one. So Solana definitely needs to hold. I mean, it did actually break structure right here. So this could be resistance right now. And if we fail it, we could go all the way back down to 135 easily. So if we fail this, could easily go back down here. And if we don't hold this, easily go down here, That's just what I think. Tether dominance. I haven't looked at this in a long time, actually. It's not really telling me anything. It's just in the Tether. You want to look at this versus Bitcoin, actually. So let me get Bitcoin, not market cap. I don't know why I just didn't do this. So Tether versus Bitcoin. While Tether is going down, Bitcoin has been going up. And that exactly happened. Yeah, look at that. The exact dump right here of Tether was the exact pump of Bitcoin. So, because people sell their Tether into Bitcoin, that's why you look at Tether dominance versus Bitcoin. So we are at a point where this could reverse actually, because you could see daily green bands on Tether, going up, or they're trying to go up. They're inflecting upwards a little bit, just a little bit, still sideways for the most part. But yeah, Because if Tether breaks down, Bitcoin will continue to go up a little bit potentially, you know. Because just like, here, this is the perfect example right here. In November, the election, Tether breaks all structure. People are selling their Tether into Bitcoin. That's just the most obvious thing ever. But yeah, I mean that's about it for real. Let me look on the weekly real quick. Wait, not a Tether on Bitcoin. Yeah, the weekly, because we're in the exact middle point. I like taking the body candles instead. We're essentially exactly in the middle. And I mean, it'd be even more of the middle actually if you use the wicks. So we're literally exactly in the middle. Because if you take the retracement tool, let me just put on the 0.5. 0.5. Yeah, look, exactly in the middle of this range essentially. And this is an indecision zone. So you don't want to make trades here. You don't want to be going long. You should have already been long, like I said, at 85K. So you don't want to go short or long here because there's no signs, especially on the weekly. And on the daily, also, no signs of wanting to go short. But I will take this short on the 4 hour. But this is like a swing trade, couple day hold, at most a week, usually. And if it would succeed, yeah, we'd go back down to 87, 85, and I would catch some profits down there. But yeah, I'll make a video. I'll make a video updating this trade that I'm about to take. But yeah, essentially that's it. Peace out. See you guys later.